What is going on, guys? It is Sloppy Saturdays back at here with a controversial topic today. We were talking about if Travis Hunter and Shedeurs Sanders numbers should be retired. A lot of pushback on this. I want to talk about both players, my opinions on them, how their career at Colorado, and if they deserve it. First up, we are going with Travis Hunter, which I think definitely deserves the least amount of pushback. Travis Hunter won a Heisman Trophy at Colorado, and I have this thing for me. If you won a Heisman Trophy or if you brought a national championship back to your school, one of the two, you can get your number retired. I could justify that. Travis Hunter, again, you talk about winning a Heisman. You were the best player in the world at that time. Not only that, I think Travis Hunter also deserves his number retired for another reason. I mean, you're parlaying this Heisman Trophy into something that nobody has ever done before. You could talk about Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, Jabril Peppers, whoever played both sides of the ball. Nobody ever played it at the snap count at the level of Travis Hunter. And I think that is really going to make Travis Hunter one of the best players in college football history. Now, you could talk about Heisman winners, single season Heisman winners. There has been obviously a ton of them since the sport is going on. Again, not everybody makes the 20 or 30 best college football players of all time just solely off a Heisman Trophy. But I think when people really look back on Travis Hunter and what he's done, and I think nobody's really going to be able to follow up doing what he did, him being the only person being able to play the snap counts he was in a game, I think it 100% justifies a Heisman Trophy, a retired number. Now, when you talk about Travis Hunter, a lot of the pushback is, again, he only stayed at Colorado for 2 years. Colorado never really got double-digit wins. They never made a conference championship, never made a college football playoffs. He really led them to absolutely nothing. But again, this is a guy that was so uniquely talented and was able to do something we have never seen before. This situation 100% justifies it. And you can look at other people's numbers being retired, especially in recent history. When you talk about Caleb Williams, he was only at USC for 2 years. Again, he never won no championship, never made a college football playoff, none of that. So, I mean, his number was retired as well. And I think Travis Hunter really has a lot more to go off of because his case is just so unique. Again, I said it time and time again, Heisman Trophy winner or a national champion, you could 100% be justified in getting your number retired. And I think Travis Hunter, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his personally, he's going to be widely regarded as one of the best players to ever play college football due to what he's done has been so unique. So I 100% agree with Travis Hunter's number being retired. Now get into Shedeurs Sanders. I said it time and time again with Shedeurs Sanders when it came to draft stock. I believe him being a Sanders, that name, who his dad is really rising in the draft. Again, I personally said it time and time again. I think Jackson Dart is a better prospect. But again, I think Shedeurs Sanders, the name Sanders, is really just moving him up a notch into a top 5 pick, which I think he doesn't deserve. Now, getting into his number retired, I feel the same exact way about this. Shedeurs Sanders, what has he done at Colorado? When we just talked about Travis Hunter, we talked about a player that won a Heisman Trophy. He was the best player in the country for a year. Not only that, I think he was widely regarded the year before as a top 5 to 10 player in the country as well, without a doubt. He just wasn't up for the Heisman Trophy because Colorado was so bad. When you talk about Shedeurs Sanders, he holds no records at Colorado because he took basically a cup of coffee there. He was there for 2 years, so he holds no records at Colorado. He was never the best player at his position at Colorado. We talk about Cam Ward being ahead of him last year and Dillon Gabriel. You talk about the year before, oh my Lord, you had Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy. He was never the best quarterback in the country at Colorado. He never led them to double-digit wins, never led them to a championship game, a college football playoff game, holds no records there. What is justifying his number being retired? That his last name is Sanders? That's about it. That's the only reason you could justify this is because Deion made the call. This guy had no major achievements at Colorado at all. Like I said, never the best player in the country. Never led them to double-digit wins. Never played in a championship game, a college football game. Nothing he has led them to. And again, it's one thing if he was sitting at the podium in New York for a year. He was a top 4 player in the country. Then maybe you could stretch it out and say, okay, this guy was never a top 5 player in the country. Never. And you talk about a top 5 player in the country, Not only that, he never led them to anything either. So what are we retiring his number on? Aura? We're retiring on the memories of them getting the amount of views they did? Like, it's just a moment in Colorado history. When people look back at Travis Hunter, they're going to look back on him as one of the best players to ever play college football. When you look at Shedeurs Sanders, you're going to look at him mix into that moment with Deion and Travis Hunter, and you're going to look at a good college football player. Again, not great. Doesn't really lead Colorado in any statistical stats. Never led them to anything. What is the point of retiring his number? There is absolutely nothing to justify it. And then you talk about people in Colorado's history as well. You talk about people like Cordell Stewart that played 4 years there, led them to bowl games. Eric Bieniemy, same type of deal. Unbelievable player at Colorado. And we're retiring Shedeurs Sanders numbers? Why? Based on views, based on clicks, based on his dad's Deion Sanders. Again, like I said, doesn't hold any major statistical records there. Never led them to a double-digit win season, never made it to a bowl game, never made it to a college football playoffs, was never a top 5 player in the country. Absolutely no reason to justify Shedeurs Sanders' numbers being retired. But like I said, summing up this video, going back to Travis Hunter, 100% deserves to have his number retired. Again, like I said, a Heisman Trophy can always justify it. Not only that, what he did was so unique and such a unique case that it deserves a number retirement just based on him doing something that nobody was ever able to do. That wraps up this video of Sloppy Saturdays and my opinion on this Colorado number retirement. And Sloppy Saturdays is